Well, I mean, they're great backs. We knew that going into the game, obviously. But, you know, it's the SEC. We play great backs every week. Yeah, I mean, they did as expected. You know, they're tough guys to bring down. But, I mean, it's just all about, you know, fitting the run and just making sure everything is squared away. And we didn't do too good of a job of that tonight.
What played into that?
We had some misalignments. They came out in some stuff that we haven't seen, and I mean, they pretty much they beat us up front, and then, you know, guys are getting up on the linebackers, and I mean, they just, you know, they did a good job. They're a great team.
Is this defense lost its identity over the last 5 games or so?
I don't think we've lost our identity or anything, but I feel like we played some good teams with good coaches that schemed us up well, and you know, we got beat.
That 4th and 1 that they scored on, was that a misalignment deal, or were you in on that play? Do you know what they did on that one?
I wasn't on that play. They had a tackle over. They put an extra offensive lineman to that side, I believe, and basically they spread us out and just poked a hole in us.
Was that extra offensive lineman some of the stuff you guys hadn't seen before? Or?
We've seen it from other teams. We haven't seen it much from Georgia, but it was a great play call at a good time, and you know, they just pretty much just spread us out and poked a hole in us.
How frustrating was it early on? You guys get a stop and then have to jump right back out there after a punt return. I mean, you had some momentum early.
Well, I mean, it's frustrating, but as a defense, you have to be prepared for that. That's, you know, if you expect yourself to be a top defense or a top team, you have to show up in times like that. So, you know, we can't blame it on that, or we're not going to blame the game or how the game went on, you know, one series or having to go back out. You know, it's just we had some opportunities that we didn't capitalize on, and, you know, I mean, it definitely showed.
You make that, you know, 4th down or 3rd down stop, you punt right there midway through the first quarter. Quan fumbles that right there in the red zone. I guess, how difficult is it to gather yourself and kind of go out there and try to make a stop at that point?
I mean, well, as a defense, you always have to be on high alert. You always have to be ready to go back out. So they on that whole deal. I mean, it was a little disappointing, but I mean, you know, you got to come out and you got to produce. You got to produce as a defense, and you have to come up with big plays and big stops, and we just didn't do that.
Kris, the pass defense has been an issue for the past several weeks. Tonight it's the rush defense as a whole statistically. Why has this defense regressed the last month?
I'm not really sure. We had a few things lately. A lot of teams have been scheming us up really well, and basically we just need to get back to the drawing board and just see what we got and see what we can do to improve moving forward.
Chris, Jonathan Jones said there's almost a feeling of starting over. How disappointing is that, considering you were number 3 in the country just a couple of weeks ago, and now there's that feeling?
I mean, well, it's really disappointing. We have a locker room full of competitors. So, I mean, obviously, any loss is going to hurt, you know, especially from what we came from and how much work we put in. But with that said, this, you know, it may be starting over in the mindset of getting back to the drawing board and, you know, trying to work to do things right. But, you know, we had some good accomplishments this season, and we're going to have some moving forward. You know, we had to play Stanford, and we have a good Alabama team that we need to play towards the end of the season and prepare for a bowl game. So this isn't over by any stretch. We have a locker room full of guys that are hungry to play regardless, and work as hard as I've ever seen. So, you know, we're just going to do all we can to just get back and get ready for next week.